Hey Decide Destiny crew, Kyle Sprides here. Thanks for joining me for another Decide Destiny daily dose. Decide to have full awareness of both the positives and the hazardous habits. So, for someone who's experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of instability, maybe the foundations that other people have in life, the important foundations that are valuable as you grow. And as you go and develop, maybe you've taken a lot of positives from that. So personally, I think from my experience, I've taken a lot of positives from a lot of trauma, younger trauma, and older trauma, and having to go through a lot in such a condensed, short amount of your life. So in that, I've taken a lot of positives and positives that I overcame those things, and positives that I learned lessons, and the reason I am this way, the reason I'm more resilient, the reason that I'm able to detach where necessary from things that will pull and hold my emotion, the reason why things that seem to affect other people, their mind, body, spirit, and knock them for six, doesn't necessarily affect me, because I've experienced those other things, life or death things, that really ground, if you will, into me the wisdom that I, and the philosophy that I live my life by. So in that, a lot of positives, but one thing that has been, how should I say, communicated to me, and a message that's been delivered, is that as there are the positives, you also have to be careful of the harmful hazards that you may have developed. So if you're really good at resilience, and you're good at being independent, and you've had to be because of your the challenges you faced, maybe you're not as good at opening up and trusting and depending on other people, and kind of letting go of your version of reality and what you believe is true, and actually picking up theirs for a bit to play with it and see how you can build something together. So I've noticed recently that just because you've gone through traumas and you've come out the positive side, and you may have done some work to do that, doesn't mean that there's not still harmful habits that you have to be aware of, that there are not more lessons that you have to learn, that you don't have to keep approaching life like this eternal lesson and this eternal growth that you're on, because there's going to be plenty of things that you learned subconsciously and consciously that might not benefit you in other situations. And for instance, one thing that I can say is through the trauma and through having it so close to me, I had to develop an ability to cut off and detach, and that served me, and it served me in my life and other things. It really has served me to be able to detach and focus on, take a deep breath, get present, and focus on what the most important thing is in that moment. However, it also has been a harmful hazard in terms of not allowing me to connect and get as vulnerable with people. And that's something that I've had to learn over time, is to get vulnerable, is to connect on a deeper level, is to not detach. And there's a great scene actually in Friends, the TV show, where one of the main characters, Chandler, has an argument with his girlfriend, and he goes, "Oh, okay, we'll see you later, it's over." And she's like, "No, like, you have arguments, but it doesn't mean that it ends." It turned out to be a cute moment, but that sort of childhood experience and trauma that character went through meant that he wasn't equipped with the right tools in that situation. And you just have to be aware that just because you came out of something good and strong doesn't mean that you didn't come out there without scars. And now I'm not saying go and be upset about it, or woe is me, but what I'm saying is to be aware, because you don't want those things to creep up in your personal life. You don't want those things to creep up unexpectedly. You're going along fine, and all of a sudden this harmful habit that you haven't dealt with is creeping up in your life. So you want to be able to clear that. You want to be able to go through those traumas and face your emotions, face your feelings, face those traumas. And it's not about running through the pain of it to feel something, but it's about bleeding it through and kind of like stretching a muscle, stretching it out so that your muscle can be prepared and ready for life. So look at it in that way. You know, I came out on the positive side in the situation, took a lot of positive aspects from my mindset. I really thrived. However, these two things keep happening in the situation where I cut off too early, or I don't allow myself to be vulnerable. Okay, cool. Is that a harmful habit that I'm developing? All right, is it? Okay, if it is, how am I going to deal with it? How am I going to work through this harmful habit, clear this trauma, or clear this harmful habit so that I can grow and continue to grow and continue to be a balanced or a well-rounded human being that can actually deliver the goods to my family, my friends, and to people on this planet Earth. That's how it goes. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. Share it around with anyone who maybe has had a traumatic childhood or has had many challenges that they've faced, and they're trying to go through, they're dealing through, and you know, or they've dealt through and have come on the positive side, but maybe